Good morning, everyone. At least morning where I am. It is evening where our guests are on Friday, September 20th, 2024. I would like to welcome, these are the Voyages, two of our wonderful cast members from the new short that they have put out. The new short is called Unavoidable Delays, a Star Trek fan film production. So I'm going to introduce Aaron Vanderclay. Aaron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. It's nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you. I've missed you doing our Star Trek review shows, but we haven't had any Star Trek new shows recently. So, oh well.
No, someone needs to fix that. We need some more.
We do need some more. I think there's some coming, but I'm not exactly sure when. But Aaron, can you go ahead and introduce everybody else for me?
I can. So first and foremost, we have our two wonderful actors from this short, Maximiliano and Tamara. Maximiliano, you may remember from Beyond the Sun, which was a short film that we did 2020, 2021, I
2021.
think. So we see what happens to his character after the event. And Tamara is someone completely brand new that we worked with for this story, and we were so happy to have her on board. And then joining me as well is Aaron Chappell, and Aaron is production designer for the last 6 shorts we've done. Wow, has been that many.
Aaron Chappell, have you put in your resignation yet for doing all the sets, or are you going to stick with him and do more sets?
No, I think at the moment I will stay on board. He hasn't driven me to the grave yet, but we'll see how it goes after another few films. There might be a resignation coming.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Yeah, I remember when I resigned from my first fan film production that I did after 6 years. But yeah, then I got into.
I've got a few go.
You've only been 2, so you've got 4 more years then.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So, Tamara, so this is your first film with Aaron.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, have you been in other things? Are you a actor, or this is just like a side thing, or what are your goals?
Yeah, I am an actor. Most of the work that I do tends to be in theatre and live performance. I'm also a puppeteer. I do quite a bit of puppetry, but I really enjoy doing screen work as well. I just find that it sort of pops up less frequently for me. So then when it does pop up, it's so exciting, and especially something like this, because I hadn't done any sort of sci-fi before. And it's been so wonderful just throwing myself into more sci-fi and into the world of Star Trek. So yeah, I'm so grateful because, yeah, coming from no experience in that kind of sci-fi genre, I'm like thankful that Aaron, gave me a shot.
Are you a sci-fi fan, or?
Yeah, I am. I didn't really watch a lot of it growing up. My parents liked it, but I guess they weren't sort of staying up to date and following everything that was coming out. So I only caught bits and pieces from different shows. I never really got to have like a full watch through of anything until quite recently. And yeah, I can confirm that I am a fan.
Well, that's good. Let me go to Maxim. Maxim. So is this your second film then with Aaron? Or have you done more?
No. Technically, I do. When I was living in Sydney, I technically voiced one of the pilots in Outbreak, was it? I was in my studio apartment. I just screamed like "wow" or something like that. So technically
3?
Technically 3, yes. Technically.
Well, did he give you a credit?
Yeah.
Well, then you were in it, so then that's no problem.
Well, I totally forgot about it though, and I was watching it. I was really enjoying myself, and then I'm like, who's that? That guy sounded like me. And then right at the end, I see my name and I'm like, right, forgot about that.
Well, that's the way that works. So, are you a sci-fi fan, or this is just a extracurricular activity?
I'm a giant sci-fi fan. Yeah, ever since my dad, and I don't want anyone to get mad at me, so everyone stay calm. But ever since my dad introduced me to Star Wars when I was 6, I became a giant sci-fi fan. Literally right now, I'm listening to 2 sci-fi books at the same time. I've always loved sci-fi since I was a kid. It's like the fantasies. Everything is just sci-fi for me. Sci-fi and fantasy, best genres that exist, in my humble opinion. Not a doctor.
Well, then you'll just have to come and be a co-host for our review shows of the next Star Wars series that comes out.
Love Star Wars.
Well,
Love
there you
Star Wars.
go. We're always looking for co-hosts to do that. So just ask Aaron. But I want to throw up a comment we have. This is directed for Aaron from Power 543 Fan Films. Aaron, working on your beaming right now. So
thank you, Sam. So Sam does some visual effects stuff for us, and for these 3 films, he's doing one for the next short, which is we need 1 transporter effect, and Sam is a busy guy, and we've been in the schedule for a long time since we've shot it. So yeah, I'm excited to see Sam's work and slot it in, and hopefully then we can release film number 2.
that would be good. Hurry up, Sam. Yeah, Sam's been on our program. He probably doesn't remember, but yeah, he was a couple of years ago. But anyway, but going back to this, the episode, which is called Unavoidable Delays. Aaron, you wrote that, correct?
I sure did.
Any background in what you were thinking, or were you just sleeping one night and it just came to you?
So how this whole thing came about was Fan Film Factor was going to do a Trek in 90 Seconds short competition, and I was thinking about entering it, but I didn't really know. Didn't feel really inspired of what to do, and then I happened to see another short that was an entry for it, and it was a comedy, and I was like, oh, I could probably do a comedy like that. I think that worked. Like, I think I should do that. Which is funny because I love Lower Decks, which is the animated Star Trek show that's a comedy, and so it wasn't like Star Trek and comedy couldn't go together. And then basically the background behind the story was in the last film that we did, which was Resistance, Maximiliano, my original intention was that he was going to be in it, but because of COVID, he was in Sydney and he couldn't come back to Perth.
Right.
So I had to write him out of it. And then, ironically, by the time we got around to filming it, Maxim was back in Perth, so that just didn't work out. But yeah, the story was going to be that he was still on this ship, he hadn't been evacuated with the rest of the crew, and that he would join forces with the characters in Resistance. And his whole arc is that he let the captain down, and he was trying to make it up to her, and he would sacrifice himself to save the captain and learn the true meaning of Christmas and etc. And then I was just thinking about that, and I thought, how funny would it be if he's just stuck in his quarters, and then he just keeps getting blown off by like every time he has to meet the captain, something else happens, and they go through the other adventures. So the last 2 films, she can't make it because we're going through the events of Outbreak, and she can't make it the next time because we're going through the events of Resistance. So yeah, I just thought that would be a good bit of comedy, and that's basically how it came about.
Yeah, well, and Sam has a follow-up. I tried to insist to get you more space visual effects, but you didn't need it. Boo.
This is true. The hard part about this whole project was trying to fit into this 90-second time frame, which was part of the competition. But because we didn't end up entering it for a number of reasons, by the time we shot it, we couldn't really do anything about it, making it longer. But but yeah, like both Maximiliano and Tamara come from like a comedy background as well, and they're good improvisers. So we thought that we would have time on set to maybe do a couple more gags, but we just didn't have the time to do it. But yeah, it was a longer story. I would have loved to have done a bit where, you know, every time the door opens, something else happens, like they're in the mirror universe, or I don't know, there's a whole breach on the other side and it's just space, or there was a firefight, or, you know, they were in, I don't know, another world, and Tamara was a guy instead, and, you know, or she was an alien, or something, like just crazy things that again would delay this meeting with the captain.
Other Aaron C, what was your inspiration on the sets? Because I know you did them from scratch.
We did. So after the last film, what was that one? Resistance.
Yeah.
We binned everything. So we had to start from scratch. We didn't have anything left. And because this is so heavily inspired off Beyond the Sun and the 3 films we did, we wanted to try and recreate the look of that ship. Because it did have such a distinct look. So we just started drawing. We looked at
Next Generation.
Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very good with the names of Star Trek. There's that much of it. So we looked at Next Generation images just to sort of get an understanding of what that sort of era looked like and what we could do in the space we had to develop the set.
And the sort of types of shapes. So that even though it wasn't like 100% of an accurate like set,
it was recognizable.
It was recognizable by the shapes and things like that.
So yeah, just got pen and paper and started drawing, and turned to Aaron and said, thoughts on this? And he would say no, and I'd try again and keep trying. And then we came across something that we liked, and then that's what we got.
That's what you got. And there it was. It just appeared, right?
It just appeared.
Yeah.
I clicked my fingers and it was there.
You beamed it in or whatever, yeah. So
Aaron came to me and said...
He made the transport. He's kept the transporter last time, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Still
Just so yes. Tamara, it's a short, so this is going to be a really difficult question. What was your favorite scene to film in that 90-second episode? Which one did you have the most fun?
I mean, all of it. They both were enjoyable for different reasons. It was quite fun being able to give Max quite a bit of sass in the sort of first half, particularly with the sort of moment of you should have thought about that, and got to be quite sassy and snarky, both vocally through my voice, but also with my expressions. And I'm a very expressive performer, which sometimes doesn't always work for screen, or some people tell you to do less. But I think it kind of worked in this instance, it's really fun when you just get to play within that and you don't feel too restricted. But I do also have to mention once, in the second sort of half, when everything's sort of turned upside down, where the space that we were working within, it was pretty limited, but it still worked, and it was like really fun to try and figure out what worked within those kind of like restrictions of physical space. And I mean, it just kind of puts you in the reality of it, like the ship is falling apart, like it's urgent, we need to make quick decisions, and you just kind of worked with the space that you had and kind of added to it. So both of those moments were particular.
You didn't have 30 by 30 meters? We
did not. No.
Oh, that's just so awful. But here's a question from Sam for you, Tamara. He asks, if you were to do a second film, would you prefer doing a focused character piece or a larger sci-fi focused story?
Ooh. Good question. Both. I really love character work, and it's really fun when you get to sit in a character, because that's when you really get to know the character very well. So maybe a focused character piece, but I wouldn't say no to a larger sci-fi focused story. Yeah.
Maxim,
Yo,
you were in it mostly, but which part of it was the most fun for you?
oh, no question. The most fun for me was when the door opens and everything's on fire. Because very selfishly, I was very excited to do this short with Tamara, because Tamara is one of the funniest people I know. So just genuinely, I was really excited. I'm like, I'm just here for the good times, yo. So I just really enjoyed that. And I rarely struggle with not laughing when I need to not laugh in a scene. And Tamara is one of 3 people who have been able to just make me go for no reason. Just the
You lose
utter
it.
the utter confusion in her face that you didn't know the ship is on fire. It's just fantastic. Really made me giggle.
Well, hey, that's good. And now, are you still in Sydney or are you in Perth now?
No, I'm in Perth right now.
You are
It's
in
sort
Perth.
of,
Okay.
yeah.
So you didn't have to really travel this time for.
Oh, I did. It's a big voyage. I'm in Perth, but I'm in the underground, so I live about 60 nautical miles into the Earth's core. So I had to dig my way up. I forgot about the elevator. But no, actually, Aaron's a little bit of a drive away. But I have to say, one of the most enjoyable drives in Perth is going to Aaron's house, where last I've been there is a garage, and then showing up and there's just this full set. It's baffling. I still do not understand how they make those sets. It's astounding.
No, it is astounding. That was one thing when I first met Aaron, and when he told me where his sets were, I went, "What?" But hey, I work with another fan film, and he has his sets in his basement. So hey, I mean, I totally get that, and it's a shock going into his basement, and then it's like, oh, now I'm on a starship. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And especially the use of just practical filmmaking. Like, I remember for Beyond the Sun, there had to be stars in the background. I thought, oh, well, he's going to set up a green screen door. He just put like some little holes in a thing, and it looked fantastic. It looks so good, and it means no rotoscoping, just smart filmmaking. And it looked good and accurate as well. The accuracy of Aaron's films to the aesthetic of Star Trek, fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it is great. It is great. I mean, I love his work. I've loved his work ever since I found him online, and I've enjoyed talking to him every once in a while about some of his things, and talking about our joint working with fan films. So if there's anybody else, we've got several viewers out there in the chat room. If you would like to ask them a question, please post it in the I just saw this comment, and it's like, I want the answer to this from both Aarons. Did Aaron do a deal with the devil, being so creatively talented?
Who is this question for?
Both of you, in my
I
opinion.
did. It just came to me one night. I just woke up and it was just there. I feel like I've always had a creative side. I wanted to be an actor, and that didn't last for very long. So I thought of the next best thing and just enjoyed building things and drawing and designing, and a lot of stuff is in my head, so I have to try and get it on paper, which I'm not the best at.
That was my next question. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all in my head. There's nothing on paper. I try and explain things, and then once I start talking it out, it makes more sense to everyone. But I just have to build it. I have a vision in my head, and I just get cracking. And if I build something, there was a replicator in this episode on the wall. it probably flashed past in one of the shots. But Aaron had no idea what I was doing when I was building that replicator, because I knew what I was doing and I knew how I was going to do it, and it turned out to be the best set piece that we had in that film, in my opinion.
I feel like I'll give anything a go. Like, I think I'm a good embodiment of like jack of all trades, master of none. And especially when you're doing like a production and you don't have like a massive crew, you kind of have to take on lots of different roles. So you kind of have to do everything and do the best you can doing everything. Like before these 6 films now we've done, but the 5 before that, like building sets and things like that, that was just me. And I had to write something, plan a shoot, produce it, direct it, edit it. Thankfully, didn't have to film it. Thankfully, didn't have to act in it as well. Knew I couldn't do all the 50 things. I could only do 10. But yeah, so you just make do, and then you just learn where your skills are. And like having Aaron on board for these last 6 films, especially on the production design side of it, I don't have to have that in my brain constantly. Like I can take a step back and know that someone else is dealing with that. I also have to give Aaron credit though, when he says he's not good at writing things down. His set plans were meticulous for these films, especially because we had to reuse bits of set for the next 2 films. Like, I think we posted a shot of one of them online, but they're going in an archive.
We're going to publish them in a book.
Yeah, we're publish them in a book.
Yeah, and Arc54 says, good morning, Aaron V and Michael. Good morning, Arc54. I'm expecting lots of questions from you. And then Sam says, here's to another 4 Voyager era films just to make an even 10.
Not a bad idea.
Well, we have to do tomorrow's long form character piece. So.
Well,
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's been set up.
It's been set up, and then Maxim has to be in there so he can deal with her humor and stuff. So
I
guess
just like to be nearby.
I guess both of them make it.
I'll do the catering. Anything.
Oh, the catering. Are you a caterer also?
No, not at all. But I just realized I've just lied. I've lied. 4 films. I was wondering. I remember.
You've been 4.
Yeah, I remember being on a big set with you another time, and I thought, when? The Doctor Who film. I totally forgot about that.
And also the one that we did last year for that.
Yes.
Sydney
Yes,
so it's 5. So you lied.
I'm a dirty liar.
He's a big liar.
Just kick me. What's this leave studio button do?
I could show you if you'd like.
I dare you. I've still got the
don't
link.
dare me, Aaron. No, don't dare me.
I'll just join the chat, leave a bunch of comments, questions for Tamara.
Well, well, I know. And I think Tamara paid my other co-host off not to come on because she had those questions.
100%.
I'm thinking 100%. That's what it was. But you know what?
I did submit a list of incriminating facts about Tamara Creasy.
Well,
I have lots of nice things to say about Tamara.
Me too. But I only submitted the bad.
My really nice thing is that because we ended up doing these 3 shorts and they were going to be in a short space of time that we had to do them, I didn't want to put out a casting call, so I asked Maximiliano who he could recommend. I was like, this is a character brief, who do you think would fit this role? And I'm fairly certain the only name that came back was Tamara's.
That is correct.
And I hadn't seen a screen test or anything like that. I think I found like a really old show reel.
That's right.
But it was good. I watched it and I was like, I can see how this is going to work. And then I feel like it wasn't until when we were rehearsing and like the doors opened and you said your first line, I was like, done. This is it. This was made for this moment. There was no one else that could play this role. This was what was in my head. Hands down done.
Oh, that's very kind. That show reel is pretty old. So when you were like, "Oh, I watched your show reel and it was great," I was like, "Oh gosh, I don't know about this." But then
So
there was,
tomorrow, when you put out your new show reel, then.
oh gosh, it's been in the making for a long time. I keep like shifting it to the back burner, and but now that I have like this new footage, that I can add that in, and I just need to either find someone to edit it for me or actually set aside the time to commit to it and do it.
Yeah, time is always the enemy. I understand that. And this is a question. I don't know if you can answer it or you can just guess. How old is your character in the film tomorrow?
Ooh. I mean, Aaron might actually know the answer to this, but I would probably guess that they're maybe like 26, 25, 26. Aaron, did you have any particular age in mind?
I actually can't remember what it said in the description, in the script. I'm sure it was like probably like. In fact, it actually didn't say like. It didn't specify gender. It was just like I think in the script actually it said secretary because I didn't know the word for what it became, which was adjutant. But I'm sure it was like secretary 20s. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
That is correct.
Well,
I remember.
You remember.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Now, Maxim, so how is life living underground?
Life living underground. I'm not going to be honest. Wait, I am going to be honest.
You're not going to be honest. You're lying again. You're such a liar.
Look, I'm a bit of a liar.
Oh, now he's gone.
Because they swarm. Oh, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Oh, it was the Ratmen. The Ratmen. It's really deep underground here, so the Ratmen sometimes chew through cables. But yeah, it's not too bad. Can't complain. You don't get sunburned. That's really the only upside of living underground. I've always wanted to live underground. Oh, I have a question for Aaron, and I've asked you this before, but I'd like to hear your answer in front of a group. Do you have any plans for ever making films? Because you've done Doctor Who, you've done Star Trek. Do you have plans? Do you have an idea of what other sort of IP you'd be interested in working in?
I mean, we have talked off this conversation, and I've talked with other people as well about maybe doing like a Star Wars film, but I'm not a massive Star Wars fan.
But you don't want to have somebody in a Star Wars film that lives underground. I'm sorry.
No, you don't. You don't.
I mean, you really don't. You really don't. See,
like Rogue One is like, I thought that objectively that was a great film, and I thought it was really clever that it was just based on like a throwaway line in another film, and then they turned a whole film about it. And the fact that you know that what happens to the end of this character, like what happens to these characters at the end of the film, and you're invested for 2 hours or whatever. I think that was great, and that's why I like used that as a basis for when we did Fall of Starbase 1 however many years ago. But if it was away from the like sort of main part of the Star Wars universe and it was like a spin-off thing, like they're doing all these shows on Disney, that is something that genuinely interests me. And having gone to Star Wars Land in Hollywood Studios in Florida, I was like, wow, this is great. I love the production design. So yeah.
Yeah, didn't even invite me. Boo-hoo. Yeah, that's a whole other.
He didn't invite me either, Michael. It's okay.
He didn't even invite me either, and I think I'm the biggest Star Wars fan he knows.
I did get invited. Sorry.
Oh no.
Tamara and I had a great time there. So yeah. All good.
You should have been there.
Well, this is back from Tamara. He said, I was asking because I was wondering if you would be in a timeline. I do so many Trek shorts, and always need talented actors and never enough Australians. We've only had 2 in the cast so far.
I'll be
You've
number
been-
3.
You've been poached. You've been headhunted.
Yeah,
great.
well, I debated whether to post that, Aaron. I said, I don't know, because he'll probably steal her. But then again, you know, put on a wig, put on a alien costume, and then you're fine. You know, it's like that's the one good thing.
You'll have to speak with her agent.
Are you her agent?
I am. Yes.
I was
I am
wondering.
now.
Yeah.
We are now, yeah.
Actually, the captain character who we hear in this film, and she's in the next one, and we also hear her in the last one, and has been in the previous set of 3 films. She also did a short for Sam as well. So just the latest in a long line of people merging to different production companies.
Well, they steal them from you, Aaron.
Yeah, I can pick them. I pick good people.
And it shows. I mean, wonderful stuff. So are you really seriously considering a Star Wars film, or are you being pressured?
I'm being pressured. Look, if I feel like if someone came to me with like an idea or a script that I was like really passionate about, or if I was passionate about it, was interested in it, I would totally consider it. Obviously doing like shorts are much easier and more cost effective than doing a long film. So I probably wouldn't do a feature or anything like that. But yeah, it was a couple of minutes. I'd be interested.
Well, especially if it's just one set and it's not a whole.
Or I mean, like, we've got great locations in WA. Like every time I go down south, I'm like, we need to do a film down here because this is just like gold, and this is something that, you know, you don't see in mainstream film or television, these locations. So I mean, that we've got so many good locations to set a story in. So I'd probably do it on location.
Yeah, location shooting is a whole different animal. But then you've got all these other considerations to think of, like weather and all that fun stuff. Oh yeah, I don't even want to think about that.
Don't worry, I can tell you the weather. If there's anything I can achieve.
Well, you don't have weather when you're underground. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know, but I have weather monitoring systems for my underground bunker. I always know it's going to be 2% humidity, 98% dust.
I thought.
Okay, got one laugh. I'll take the laugh.
That doesn't sound like a very appealing place to film.
I didn't say film here. I just said I could tell you the weather. No, but it's true. I do know a lot about weather. So, Aaron, don't worry. I got you covered with the weather.
I was just thinking, actually, Maxim, like the fact that you voiced the fighter pilot in Outbreak.
I know, it was pretty.
To go into a career flying aircraft. It was foreshadowing.
Yeah, it was you. You did it. It was 100% you. No other influences. That's what I said in my.
If we do a Star Wars film where we've got like a shot like in a fighter, maybe we can go up.
You have no idea how many times I've considered that. And I've just been like flying and thought, okay, but how do I make this look like an X-Wing? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like an X-Wing at all. And I wouldn't want it on film, me trying to say lines while flying a plane. Because then they'd just be like, oh, license revoked, bro. Stop talking into a camera while you're trying to fly.
Now, what kind of plane do you fly?
Light aircraft, the Cessna 172 that we were talking about before we went live.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I'm not going to talk about planes because I get carried away.
We'll have to have you on another podcast. You could talk about planes. How about that?
Planes? No, I don't have. I shouldn't be asking questions. I've got all the questions.
Well, but it's good. I mean, that's what we've done with other groups. You know, they ask questions in between because they know more about the ins and outs of the production than I do.
Fabulous.
I
question.
only know what I've seen on the net, so which is sometimes scary too. But not in this case. Not in this case. I mean, it's you know, Aaron does quality stuff, and I'm excited that he's got another one. You got 2 more coming out, 2 more shorts.
Yeah, we've got 2 more shorts. The next one, so each one of these shorts is loosely based on one of the previous set of stories. So this one was inspired by Beyond the Sun, hence Maximiliano's involvement. The next one is focused on the captain and is based on resistance. So she's trying to hunt down some Borg technology, and she bumps into Leonardo da Vinci. And the third short is based on Outbreak, and that sort of involves 2 characters trying to restart a water treatment plant and the problem that they come up with. So, yeah, they're 3 very different stories. But yeah, they were fun to shoot.
So I should basically tell Sam to hurry up on the post-production stuff?
If you want.
Okay. Sam, you heard
I don't know whether it'll make any difference, but
Oh, probably won't, but
he's a busy guy.
well, I know he's a busy guy, but he's watching, he's listening, and so I can just say that, and it's out there forever. So there you go. Tamara, do you have any projects that you're involved with now that you'd like to talk about besides Aaron's?
I don't really have too much in the film world. I'm trying to write a play. It's a comedy, but it's sort of just that, and like a puppetry gig popping up in the future. But that's it for now. So I'm hoping, more screen and more film opportunities, because it's so much fun, especially when you have a really fun team. Like the team for this project was so lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And, everyone on set was just a delight. It was a really fun day of filming.
Now, are you a ventriloquist with the puppets, or do you have the puppets like on a little stage and you're underneath and doing stuff?
It depends on the show. Varies quite a lot, from sort of small scale puppets that are sort of the size of your hand or a bit bigger to the most recent show I did. I was puppeteering this like sweet elderly lady, and she was life-sized. So it varies a lot. And some of the shows are targeted for kids, and some are for all ages. It's a nice mix.
Oh, cool. Maxim, besides flying, do you have any other interests than besides Star Wars?
I like video games. Now I'm trying to think of anything I do in my spare time other than that. I'm a big fan of science. Video games. That's actually why I don't have a camera, because this is my like gaming computer. I don't have like a laptop that has a camera. So I spec'd hard into a computer for video games. But yeah, honestly, I'm a pretty embarrassingly simple person. I don't have that many. I'm like, I pick a lane and I just go really hard on that one lane for like 5 years, and then I just pick a new lane. So other than flying, no. Oh no! I wish I had a more interesting answer. I went to the zoo the other day. It was great.
There you go.
I'm scared of animals, but I really like animals, but I'm very afraid of them.
You came out from underground and you got to see some animals.
Yeah,
Nice.
but I felt really at home in the nocturnal enclosure. I just saw that the question was asked, what GPU do I have?
Yeah, that's what I was going to post up, yeah. But then you switched to animals, so I
have the Gorilla GPU. No, my friend helped me design this PC and we built it. I'm actually trying to find my GPU right now because I don't remember exactly which one it was, because we looked at so many. So while I try to find that, Tamara, I have a question for you. I've seen Tamara do, like, everything I've ever seen Tamara do prior to this was live theater, especially a lot of improv theater, which is very big, uses your whole body. Whereas for film, you have to like pull it back. How did you find finding the balance between doing like that big improv stuff where you're playing to a room of like a bunch of people where some people are way in the back, they can barely hear you, versus doing it for a camera that's like 3, 4, 5 feet away from you, and literally 3 microphones on you?
Yeah, you sort of have to switch gears a bit. I feel like I've had a journey of, because I studied like acting and performance at uni, but the degree that I did was like a hodgepodge of lots of different skill sets, like acting, writing, directing, producing, all of that, and that's where I sort of got my intro into puppetry as well. But we did also get to do like a screen acting unit. And in that unit, we were very much told, do nothing, do very little, don't move your eyebrows, don't be expressive. And I was like, this is everything. You're telling me to do everything opposite to how I just exist. Like, I'm a very like expressive person and really enjoying like theater and physical comedy. Like, I'm very inspired by like Rowan Atkinson and a lot of like Monty Python stuff, and it's big and it's performative, and I love it. And you can probably see how like animated and excited I'm getting just talking about it. And then sort of coming out of uni and doing projects not within like the institution, and people were like, oh, like, yeah, can you do like a little bit more? And I had to like reconfigure my brain to be like, but people said not to do anything. And okay, like I feel like I had to unlearn a lot. And then now I just exist, and I just play, and I just like try to trust my instincts and not overthink what are my eyebrows doing when I deliver this line. Like, it feels so restrictive when you are thinking about all of those things rather than just thinking about your relationship with the person that you're like performing opposite, and just trying to create like a genuine connection. And that's when I feel like acting is its best. So after doing all of that overthinking, I now just try to like kind of almost let like my body take over rather than my mind, because it's so easy to overthink and overanalyze every little movement that you're doing. So yeah, it's been a journey, but yeah, I feel like I can kind of switch it on and turn it up if I need to be bigger for like a larger in theater audience, or I can try and yeah, just exist within the room and like with the people that are in my physical space when filming. If that answers your question. I went on a bit of a rant.
Yeah, and here's
Thank you
another
very
question for you, Tamara. I just want, they said, puppets are cool. This is from Marcia. Is there a place where we can see some of your puppetry?
Oh, puppets are cool. Places where you can see, I guess I'm not too sure where you're based, Marsha.
Florida.
Florida. Oh, cool. I think there's like a couple of trailers on YouTube of like shows that I've been in, so that would give you a taste of what they were. Obviously, it's not the full show itself. There is one trailer that I could let you know about. It's called Cicada, like the bug. And it was a show that was created by a company here in Perth, Australia, called Barking Gecko Theatre Company. And they adapted the work from a book, which was written by an Australian author and illustrator. And it's, yeah, a really lovely show, and it is about a little bug. You should check out the book online. I think you can like read it or like view it online as well. But there should be a trailer on YouTube, and it's really nicely like edited and cut together. And the music that you hear is music that was in the show, and there was a composer from here in Perth. His name's Jonathan. He composed all of the music for it, and it's the music is so stunning. He's done such a great job. So if you want to go and have a look at that, it's a pretty cool little snippet of what the show looks like.
Yeah, we have a little like on Facebook from one of Aaron's big fans, Joshua Michael Irwin. Sorry about that. I messed up the name, but you know, and Yeah, that's what I wanted to put this in the chat. Yeah, this is the link to. I hope it's the trailer for the movie. Yeah.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Because
Spider-Man?
I was going to
As
do
you
it.
were
I do
speaking,
have
I
it.
immediately found it.
Yeah. Okay. So this is.
And also, just to answer the burning question, the GPU is an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 370 Ti. Not the best in the world, but does the trick. Does the trick.
I thought it might be that one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you always ask me.
Yeah.
But I never tell you.
Until now.
Okay, I'm putting the link in the chat. Marsha, you can pick it up, or anybody else that wants to do it. I just got to get back to the correct screen. It's just the way life goes.
Although you had curly hair in that trailer, which
And it was
really threw
blonde.
me.
So I look like a
Yeah.
different person. But
Well,
it is
'cause I was-
me. I swear.
Oh snap! Everyone found the trailer.
Wow.
Jeez.
Thanks, everyone.
No, that I'm posting it to all of our streaming services.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
see.
so it's going out to all where we're
Well,
streaming.
No
Woo!
wonder Talented Universe saw that trailer.
Yes, that's our sister show that I'm actually in charge of that one. That one's mine. So yeah, that's where we have right now we have the ARC guests on that are behind the scenes people. We were asked by Electric Entertainment, would we do behind the scenes people for their show? And we said we were trying to get behind the scenes people for season 1, and we just couldn't get anybody. But this season, they're coming out. I mean, as I said before we went on air, we've got one of the directors from the ARC, just their new episode that just aired in the United States on Wednesday. She's coming on and talking about her episode, and then we have the writer of that episode coming on Monday. So it's pretty cool. But so look us up for other things. But going back to the two Aarons over there, how long did it take you, either one, to build the sets for this particular short, or do you not even want to remember?
It's like a month's worth.
Yeah, it wasn't long. I think Aaron came to me with the idea, and we had probably 3 weeks to turn it around.
Yeah, it was like a month's worth of weekends, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then as it got closer, after work, we would
Start painting or
start painting or doing things. I think out of like all the 3 sets that we did for these films, they're all very different. I think this one was the one that came together the best.
Mhm.
Was this the first one you shot, or?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I feel like, when we say we had a month to put it together, we're not talking about 30 days. We're talking about 2 days a week.
Yeah.
Over 4 weeks. So
Over
we
4
really
weeks.
had, 8 days to do it realistically.
That's not much time.
There was also lots of like little things as well, like the desktop monitor that's in the story. Like that is like a commercially available money box that we had to convert into the prop, even though it's slightly smaller. But just like that was very finicky to do and get right, and that sort of took basically from the start till
To the end.
the day of shooting to
Yeah.
make sure it was 100% ready, because it was just one of those things that it was necessary in the context of the story. And then there'd be things like the replicator. Like I was really keen like to push the fact that we had this replicator in the background that served no purpose in the story other than to just be in the background and look cool.
Whoops.
And yeah, we spent
I think they froze.
They're probably scared of the rat men.
Well, did you send them out for them?
I did. Me and the rat men, we ended up I gave their location and they said they'd stop bothering me and go after Aaron and Aaron instead.
Oh,
what a moment to come back to us on, Aaron.
Uh-huh.
As far as we're aware, we didn't leave.
We had everything.
Oh,
You did
no.
leave.
Yeah, for us, you just froze up like some rat men were chewing on your cables.
What was I saying?
Uh,
I
I'm
don't-
now only
Wait,
thinking
wait, wait,
about
listen to
that.
us.
Well,
So
the
you're
last
talking
kind
about
of
the
thing it was, we were
turnaround.
talking about, you were talking about your sets and 8 days, and then
The
you said one thing,
replicator.
and then you froze.
Oh my god! that was
You were
ages.
talking about the
Um,
replicator. The
Replicator,
didn't
yeah.
Yeah.
we
Oh, yeah,
didn't-
yeah.
we didn't-
The
we didn't
little
need
box, the box that you had to convert. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
And
we
then
did the mining
you
box,
froze.
and then we did the replicator thing, and that wasn't really necessary to the story, but we did it anyway. And yeah, it was in the background. Put a coffee cup on it for the second half, just to mix it up a bit. But yeah, it's a lot of set dressing, and that sort of builds the world,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Like building the walls themselves, that you could do that in a weekend. It's just everything else that you then need to put into it and build or dress it with.
We had to build a bed,
We did.
scaled down bed.
Yeah.
Mm.
We
A
needed to get
special
a smaller
bed,
actor because
nails or no nails?
no nails. If we put nails on it, Max wouldn't be here.
Well, it depends.
Yeah, no, I hate nails. I'm a glue kind of guy. I think I missed what the thing was with the nails on the bed.
I wasn't
really-
specific. I was just seeing where it went.
It was not the most comfortable bed, if I seem to recall. And we had to do that first shot was an overhead shot, which we did last, and that was very tricky to get. So
It was actually, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. The bed was comfortable. It was just small. It was small. Would you like to explain that shot and what position I was in to get that shot, or shall I?
I think we had, from memory, we had to pull the bed and the drawers away from the wall, and then I think you were probably like halfway down the bed, and your legs were over, like touching the floor by the end of the bed, and yeah, we had to set up like a camera on like a crane lighting stand overhead, and then counterbalance it so it didn't fall, and then I had to like edit out the stand and the sandbag as well. It was a lot of work. That's why we left it to last, because we knew that it was going to be really hard.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't in the room for that. I don't remember that. I was probably having a cup of tea outside.
Yeah, lounging away, done your hard part.
Yeah,
I'm
I've done
not
my
late.
stuff. I'm out here just chilling. I don't care what's going on in there. Yeah, it's not my scene.
I think the crazy difference about doing something like this was that ordinarily when we're shooting, like for example, when we did Resistance, I think we had 7 shoot days. Not all of them were 8-hour days, but you're trying to do like 5 to 10 pages a day. And that's a lot. Whereas something like this was only 2 pages, maybe pushing 3 or 2.5. And yeah, having a full 8 hours. I can't remember whether we finished early or we finished on time or something like that, but
It's
it
like
was,
pretty on the dot.
yeah, it was pretty, we had enough time to, you know, the camera crew was able to like light the set. We had a number of like little rehearsals and workshops before we got to the set, which is very rare.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a luxury.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially when you don't, like, I'd never met Tamara before and I didn't know how her relationship with Maximiliano would be. So to have that time together where you can meet people, be comfortable, see how they work together, workshop how we can make it funnier or make it better. Or sometimes, you know, actors, the way you write, I write in my head isn't the way it comes out of people's mouths. So, you know, do we have to tweak anything, things like that. So to have like that time was a great luxury. And yeah, to not be rushed is always good too. And to not have to cut down a lunch break with people is good too.
Yeah, Sam was just making a comment. For one Prodigy filming day, we did 30 pages in one day. We had to, and it was insane.
Wow.
We only had 2 days with one actor. Yeah, that's the way a lot of stuff is. Yeah.
Wow.
but you just do what you have to do.
Do you just do like you're like one shot? Or you have to land it and then move on?
Sometimes
Wow.
you just hope I'm sure Aaron can say this. It's like you just hope everybody knows their lines really well, and if you've got different angles to do it, you just hope they all say the same thing the second time.
Yeah. Not so worried about continuity. Hope for the best.
Sometimes you can't, and it messes you up. But that's a whole other story. Well, everyone, we've got about another 5 minutes, and if you have any questions you want to get in before we sign off, please throw them in the chat room right now. Aaron, is there anything you want people to know, retain, or get out of this episode?
Just to share it with your friends and your family, and like, share, subscribe, comment,
All that good stuff.
Tell us how much you love the actors, and maybe we can do more, or tomorrow I can get another job with another company. We don't know.
Well, that is true.
I
That
want
is
to do
true.
more sci-fi.
Well, we've already got our job with Sam.
Yeah, we get another one.
Yeah.
Someone get one for Maximiliano too. He'll feel left out.
No, I'm okay.
No, I'm
okay.
working on him for a voiceover. Don't worry about it.
Ooh la la. Ooh la
Well, to be
la.
fair, we've established now Maximiliano has been in at least 5 to 6 projects. So
Well,
that's-
not only that. Hold on. In my defense, I was thinking Star Trek or Star Trek adjacent. Looking back on it, it's been a lot. We've done at least like 6 or 7.
There was a music video in there as well. Don't forget that, Maxim.
Was it?
Yeah.
I did a
On the
mute.
hill.
I didn't do
Oh,
a
you did
music
it. No, you
video.
did a short film.
Wasn't that a music video?
No, it was a
Oh.
short
That
film.
wasn't a music video.
You've
That was a
done
great
so much.
day.
We need to update that IMDb.
In Aaron's defense, was there music in it?
In the short film, there was.
Yes.
There was music. It wasn't.
Well, there you go. There you
So
go.
it was a video with music.
Exactly. So yeah, it sounds good to me. But anyway, let's see. What's he gonna say? Let's see. Last
If anyone
one.
wants me to fly him, I'll fly him. That's my only skill set now. Or explain aerodynamics. Gosh, I got you
Okay.
covered.
Well, hey, as I said, I'm working on that too. Don't worry about it. I was about to say how actually interesting it would be to do a green screen shot. Aaron shoot for a Star Trek short, one of his, would need Aaron to give his time talent, would love to live direct via Skype. Yeah, we're
There's
just
another
doing all
job.
this fun stuff. Yeah, there's another job. So we're just jobs all coming out of the woodwork.
That was with a green screen. I'm out of a job.
Yeah.
Then you'd have to learn how to do background graphics and stuff. And,
That sounds like too much for me, Michael.
does it? No.
You could learn hair and makeup.
There we go.
Oh yeah, no. Aaron once did his own you did makeup for someone. I don't remember
I've done a number of
specifically what it
makeups.
was. But it was good. It was really good.
You helped with the kind of like dirty, dusty.
Dirty Tamara up in this film. I've
Yeah.
painted myself blue before as an android.
Yes, that's what it was.
I infected some patients with
Not
scabs.
with makeup, just generally.
I'm dabbling in the makeup.
Yeah. Also, see, there you go. Another jack of all trades. Master of none.
You have to be on a fan film. That's the thing.
Well, if you look closely, Aaron did do some extras work on this film.
I did.
Oh,
Blink
yeah.
were
and
you in
miss
the
it.
back? Were you the one running in the corridor?
I was.
I
As
thought
As
it
you
might
can see,
be.
there wasn't
I
much
wasn't
space. It was a very cartoony run because it was a bit tight back there, but
Yeah,
You know,
it was
you do
probably
what you have to
less than a
do.
meter clearance.
yeah.
Hey,
Try
you
not to
made
trip
it.
over
You
an
didn't get
A-frame.
hurt. That's the main part. Let's see. Let's see. How interested would people be? That phrasing is important. That is true. Tamara, thoughts? Green screen, yay or nay? Ha.
I've never worked with a green screen before, so I like
Really?
the idea of
Be
that,
glad.
but I also want to keep Aaron in the job because Aaron's great.
It's okay. I'm your agent. You can go to a green screen.
You know what, Sam, you show us a script and we'll review.
You'll think about it, right?
Yeah.
You'll think about it.
I suppose the good thing about something like this is that, like, character-wise, like, the character is only limited to 2 pages, so we don't even know what this character's real name, or we do know what her name is. It was Lieutenant Thomas.
Thomas, yeah.
But yeah, so we don't know anything about this character, where they end up, what their life is like, how old she is. We don't know anything, so the sky's the limit.
It can things can change, yes.
Yeah.
And she may have a twin. Who knows? That's.
I mean, we haven't seen her die, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We just shot ships flying out of the thing at the end there, but
I've got my headcanon for her character. She's married on a farm with Henry Cavill, and they're 6 dogs, all very, very, very rambunctious dogs. That's my headcanon, but Aaron, you can confirm or deny that.
Sure.
That checks out.
Yeah, last comment, because I think it's kind of funny. Not being dead is important for more films. Yeah, that is so true.
That said, though, people die on screen all the time and come back, so it's not.
Well, they do, especially in Star Trek. We won't talk about that. It's a whole other subject matter. But anyway, final thoughts, Aaron and then we'll go to Tamara and then Maxim. So, if you have any final thoughts.
Oh, it was a very fun film to make. At this point in time, I'm happy to make more. So as we've said, if Seb comes up with an idea and he wants a set, I'll look over it and I'll start drawing.
I think my final thought is because we didn't end up entering into this competition, that, as I said before, allowed the edit to be a bit more roomy and not as quick. And one thing that was a victim of the original edit was Tamara's reaction when she says to Maximiliano, you probably should have thought of that before you disobeyed a direct order. And she gives him this look, and I had to cut that. And I was so sad that I cut that, and I was so angry. So to put it back and see it in its entirety, because it was just one of those things that just happened. And it was so funny, and I'm so glad. It was great. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Thank you.
Tamara, final thoughts.
I'm just happy to be here. No, it was genuinely, it was such a fun day. And yeah, it meant that I got to meet new people. And one of the funnest things about doing this kind of work and being in this industry is you just really meet some real gems. And this project was no exception, and it has very much just grown my love of sci-fi and of Star Trek. I'm such a big Voyager fan now. So yeah, I had a really great time. It was really wonderful to be a part of this podcast as well. So thank you.
Well, thank you for coming, Maxim.
Look, the Ratmen are closing in. It's getting close to feeding time. But I did want to quickly say one thing that was really, really nice about doing this, and everything I do with Aaron, or I guess I've never really worked with Tamara other than this. We talk. Where it was really good balancing. There's a fantastic balance between having fun and getting the thing done, which I think is like the essence of a fan film, where it's made with love and there's work that goes into it. But at the end of the day, you're trying to make something that is fun because you're a fan of the thing. And I just think you guys make perfect fan films in that with the spirit of that. So thank you. Oh, ow! Sorry, a rat bit my foot.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. But,
wait, what do you mean? Sorry.
Well, I sent some extra ones that way. I got my drone over there and took a while to get there, and so yeah.
I was wondering.
Yeah,
that rat was in a white polo shirt, and he's like, "Meh." Very strange. But he took a toe.
It's so much fun doing things like that, I'll tell you. But anyway, everyone, thank everyone for coming. Please look at this new film of Aaron's and if you haven't seen his other fabulous films, go to one of the websites or the YouTube channel, and you can look at all of the fabulous things he has done. He's done some based on Enterprise. This series is on Voyager, and it's just great. He's done the Doctor Who stuff too. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stuff. So, everyone from NDB Media, from Trekking Across the Universe, see you next time. Enjoy the day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.